So here we are, back in the physics cave. This time we have a couple of cells, a couple of crocodile clips and an LED, and I hope you can see on your screen that the LED is lit up. So no massive surprises there, current's flowing, energy is being transferred from the cells and then being emitted in the form of light. Woohoo! So what's all this got to do with capacitors? Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this capacitor, I'm going to break this circuit so that this isn't working anymore, and I'm going to plug it onto my capacitor like that. Now it's probably worth noticing, if you're going to try this at home in your own physics cave, that capacitors are do have a specific bias, so you've got to get them the right way around. If they don't, the dielectric inside basically breaks down or lets a current flow. They get hot, then they explode because they're like little mini canisters. So you've got to make sure you have these things the right way around. Okay, so there we go. I've applied potential difference across the capacitor. We know therefore that charge is built up on the negative plate and charge that's left the positive plate, and we can say this thing's charged up. If I break the circuit now, rather than break it there, if I break the circuit there now, it stands to reason that we should still have some charge on the plates, and therefore if we've got some charge on the plates and it was a potential difference that drove that charge onto the plates, we could assume that there's some energy on the plates. Now I've got to see if I can get my thing the right way around. That's the positive end. So if I connect this up now, and it's not going to last very long, so you need to watch carefully. If I connect this up now, you should see a little flash of light. Interestingly, you probably can't see it, but what I can see is a real tiny weeny dim bit as it's going away very slowly, indicating that the charge is actually mostly comes out very quickly and then slowly trickles off after that. I'm going to try and do this as close up, see if you can see the real dim bit on your screen. That might not work, but we'll try it. So charging up the capacitor again. There, that's all it takes. The capacitor should charge up pretty instantly, shouldn't take very long at all. Capacitors now, we can assume is charged. Take that away, and this time I'm going to do a real big zoom in on this puppy here. Hopefully it will focus. Okie dokie. See if you can see this. In the right place. Can you see at the very end it's still a bit red and the redness is dimming off? I'm going to show you that again. I'm just going to charge it all up. I'm just going to touch them on and charge it all up. Now see if you can see how it does it. It almost goes off instantly, but it just stays on for a bit longer. You can see on the end, you still see that redness just dimming off for a minute there. See, still red, just a teeny weeny bit. Okay, now what that's showing us is that the energy mostly jumps out of it really quickly, but as the actual plates discharge, as we know, and there's charges left, the voltage drops. So actually, as the charge leaves, the voltage drops, and so the charge gets pushed out slower and slower. And so actually, what happens is it trickles off, and it takes ages to actually drop down to nothing at all. You see, it's still, I think that's finished being red in there. But I'm just doing this one more time. Get that into your screen. That's on. There. Finished. Slowly glowing away. You can see that quite clearly now. And actually dimming out and dimming out. And then eventually it'll go to nothing. Now if I zoom out on this, so you know it's not some sort of magical trickery, you'll see it is simply that circuit. These aren't even attached to it. It's just the capacitor and the LED. Okay, so what's the purpose of this? What's the point of me telling you all this? Basically, all you need to take from this, the take-home message is the capacitor is storing energy. Okay, let's look at the energy, the mass of the energy next.